Vincent, yes, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Michael. How are you?
Yes, I'm well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I've got some bad news. I ended up not getting nominated for any awards at work, so I actually failed at getting a nomination for the procrastination award, which was disappointing. So that's sort of it sort of got me down, which I think is okay. Being in existential mode, it's kind of, got me thinking, about things, what's the point and all that. But they've given me feedback at work. They've suggested I go for do like a diploma, like some extra study, a diploma of networking and pandering, which they think I would be good at, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just all confused about it all. I'm going to give it a break.
Oh goodness! Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Obviously, but wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't get. So the nominations you were up for were for
procrastination.
But I think I've gone through my notes, and they were all. This is like a whole new category of. They were failing awards.
They were failing awards, yeah.
Oh,
it's sort of to encourage you to fail and learn from your mistakes.
Mistakes, right? Oh goodness. So if I can reframe it, so it's almost like you failed at failing.
Yeah. Which I kind of tried to reframe as two negatives make a positive, but I couldn't kind of work it out.
Well, the math is pretty simple, and you're obviously there's a left brain, right brain thing, and I can sense you're just one of those. The point is, and you beat me to it, which again just highlights the amazing progress you're making. Because I was just going to say these two negatives make a terrific positive. To fail at failing is an incredible achievement, and you should really be, walking, high, like you walk up tall and don't slouch. You're 6 foot. Be proud. Forget about those crazy shoes. But be proud of yourself, man. Just give yourself.
Thanks, Michael. That's lovely to hear about. I don't know. You just get down in the dumps about this stuff, and I don't know. They just want you to sort of. I just think it's a diversion from the real issues that are going on, and I'm just sort of. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not sure.
And look, I'm not in a place to get into all those issues because, to be honest, I've got issues of my own. But
yeah.
But
yes.
But I think.
Yes, we know that.
But I think. The way you're approaching this, I think, is sounding quite, reasonably positive and helpful.
Yes.
But there's one thing I wanted to just brings to mind. Because we are sort of, and then we should start the session proper. So no harm or self-harm. I take it everything's no.
No harm, no self-harm. All good. Things are. Yep, all good on that front.
All good. Well, that's great to hear. And but the thing with the existential journey, and it is a journey,
yes.
and it's sort of bookmarked because there's a start and an end to it, unless you're one of those people who believe that there's, but maybe you are, maybe you're not, doesn't matter. But the point is, it's an existential, and I don't know if you know where, the sort of. There's a thing called existential angst.
Yes.
which is like it's a German term, or maybe Yiddish, probably Yiddish, given that all this stuff comes from my people. But existential angst, and in fact, angst, etymologically, is the origins in a transliterative way. I think. I guess. It's transliteration, isn't it? When you when you take the form of the word, kind of. So it's borderline translation. Anyway, let's not get bogged down. That's not the point.
No.
But the concept of anxiety, could be argued to stem from, existential angst.
Oh, yes. So these feelings that I'm feeling are feeding into my anxiety.
Well, yes. I mean, feeding into your anxiety are the source of it. So if you think of it like you sort of, just in the way you've expressed it is quite interesting. Feeding into sort of implies a kind of like a river,
a smorgasbord,
a river delta or something. That's feeding out, isn't it? The river delta. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But, some kind of feeding in. But think of it more as a fountain. Like if you're in Rome and you're at the Trevi Fountain, and when you've done, tossing all those coins over your shoulder back into the thing, and by the way, there's local boys who dive for them and pick them up, and so nothing ever happens with that stuff. All these wishes, they never come true.
It's weird when you said that about the fountain. You know what I thought about?
Yeah, no.
The first image that came to my mind was a chocolate fountain.
Well. And look, it is morning, and have you had breakfast?
No, I haven't.
Well, you do know. I mean, look, no, and here's the other thing. We talked a little bit before about physiotherapy, but I want you to know that I've also I advise clients on nutrition, and so if you want to pick up the thread on that,
You're a man of many skills.
Well, look, but what I wanted to, and look, our time is almost up. But what I wanted to sort of,
yes,
sort of maybe leave you with, or just kind of just throw it out there and let it germinate and things like that. Because we did talk about, I think, you had like this thing with your auntie who's Italian, or your friend down the street.
Yes.
And there was this thing with, and there was like the pasta wars. I remember there was like the famous pasta wars of St Kilda or something like that.
Yes, it was the soup wars, the penicillin,
the soup wars,
Jewish penicillin, exactly. Italian penicillin.
Exactly, and of course now that we're not in Freud anymore, we can talk about your mother, and she passed 30 years ago, and
yes,
and all that. But there's something that and again, this is what brings me back to existential angst. Because I don't buy into this Italian Jewish mothers, Italian mothers, they're mothers.
Yes,
mothers are mothers. It's the strongest impulse apparently. So I've read that a human being can have. The maternal instinct is one of those things. And so
yes.
I'll just leave you with something that may sort of plant a seed, and this is something that maybe we can talk about in the next session. I don't know, but it really gets to the heart of the issue. I think going all the way back to where we started and where we are now and all the bits in between is this thing that there's a definition of a Jewish mother, but in this case I'll just generalize to mother because as we've agreed, it's a maternal instinct thing. And it does, I think, bear on existential angst, and the definition, as I've read it on good authority, is that a Jewish mother, a Jewish mother, will give you 2 shirts for your birthday. Yeah, and then to please her, as you do, you wear one the next time you see her, and she says, "What? You didn't like the other?"
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that sums it up, really.
So listen, look, unfortunately our time is up, but I hope that's...
What? The session's over?
I hope that's left you with some food
Already?
with some food for thought. But I think before
Yes.
that, I think you should go and eat, because it sounds like you're very hungry. If the first thing that came to mind when I said fountain was chocolate fountain.
All right, Michael. Well, thank you for that. Thanks for that session. I'm sort of... I just sort of fell over then. Apologies.
Oh, so self-harm. Oh, goodness, I'm
Yeah,
going to have to report this. But listen, but our time is up, so I'll report it next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.